He is. He's like, if you're in the pasture fixing a fence, he'll be like, what are you doing in nibble?
And in his books, horses are just like dogs, basically.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
If not
they
better.
Are. Yeah, he is. But, so my name is Leah.
Hi, Leah.
And we are at Wailea Horseback Adventures in Wailea on the Big Island of Hawaii. Okay. I take tours. It's a historical tour. Gizmo, that's my crazy dog. He's my guide. No. In Umauma, right next to Umauma Gulch, and on the Big Island of Hawaii, we take a historical horse tour.
Do you have a website also that people could contact you by?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's Wailea Horseback Adventures.
Wailea Horseback.
I'm not really actually sure.
Okay.
It's probably, we have a flyer here. You can look on the flyer.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Well, I loved the ride, Leah. It was great.
Good.
I definitely recommend it, and I would love to come back. This was beautiful.
You so
the weather.
Much.
Yes, thank you.
I like coming off the hill and seeing the ocean. It was
with
just
the
beautiful.
Ocean, that panoramic view, and this, and so this ocean right out here is where they used to transport all of the cattle. They would bring, because it's super deep, so they would bring the barges as close to, or the ships, as close to the shore as possible. And the Paneolos, the Hawaiian cowboys, would herd the cows out into the ocean and swim them up onto the ships. Yeah, and that's how they transported them. And so, if you go like Lapa Hoi Hoi's 15 minutes that way, that was one of their main spots. So.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome.
So everybody, welcome to Wailea Horseback Adventure. So my name is Jamie. You guys met Leah, so we'll be your guides this afternoon. Today we're going to be riding Western. Our horses are trained Western neck rein, basically stopping and turning using one hand. We'll get more into detail on that shortly. You always want to approach a horse from the front. You don't want to just walk up behind them. Nothing good happens back there. So we'll avoid walking behind them. We're going to hold them for you as you mount or get on. We always get on from the left side, and we'll also be getting down on the left side. Getting up into the saddle, your left hand is going to grab the saddle horn up on top, and then you're going to put your left foot into the left stirrup. So you're going to go left hand, left foot. The right hand grabs the back of the saddle, and you're just going to step up and swing your right leg over. Once you get into the saddle, first thing we're going to do is we're going to get your right foot into the right stirrup. And don't worry if they're long or short, we'll be adjusting it for you. So once you're in the saddle, the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you're centered. And what I mean by centered is the center of the horse's neck lined up with your saddle horn along with your belly button. So you want those 3 points in line as much as possible when you're in the saddle. When we're out there riding, don't copy me. Don't ride like that. That can cause your saddle to slide or shift. We don't want that happening. If you do notice that your saddle is off-centered, you can shift or adjust it on your own by leaning and shifting your weight into your foot or stirrup, or whichever way you need it to go to get it centered. So just do your best to get it centered on your own. If you can't get it on your own, just let one of us know. We can always give you a hand. It's not for you. Just don't wait until it's too late to let us know. Too late is halfway down. That's too late to help you. So let us know sooner than later you can't get it centered. One of the most important things for balance or staying in the saddle is foot placement. When your feet are in the stirrups, you don't want to shove your feet all the way in like this. You actually only want to shove them in to right below your toes, right to the balls of your feet. So right like this is actually ideal. You want your toes slightly pointing up, toes up, heels down. Basically when you look down from in the saddle, you want to be able to see your toes in front of your knees. For Western riding, that's good position, which equals good balance. If you're out there riding and your feet are back like this, it's actually a lot easier to lose your balance on the horse. Unless you ride English, and you'll be comfortable riding way up high like that. Western riding is just kind of sit back and relax. As long as you can see your toes and you're looking down, you should be in good shape. Steering and brakes. This is our steering and brakes. This is your reins. All of the reins are going to have a knot, and we're going to be holding somewhere under this knot, kind of like an ice cream cone or a microphone with one hand. Some horses have a lot longer or shorter necks than others, so it is going to vary where you hold under the knot. What I like to do whenever I first get on is I'll start by grabbing above the knot with one hand. And you're going to kind of pull it towards your chin, so you get a little bit of tension on each side, and then you'll grab directly above the saddle line. And that's how to find the ideal spot to hold for neck reining. We train horses to give to pressure. We apply pressure, the horse gives to that pressure, and then we release it. Neck rein basically means when we're asking the horse to turn, we're applying that pressure onto the sides of the horse's neck rather than to the bit in their mouth. For example, if I want to turn him to the right, I'll use my right hand. Turn right. So he's giving to that pressure against his neck. Keep applying the pressure to get to where you want. And you're going to release the pressure by putting your hand back down to release the tension. So now I'm going to turn him around to the left. So I'm just going to switch hands. Hand goes forward and kind of down. If it's not pushing into their neck, you're not asking me to. So I get to where I want. My hand goes back down again. Getting your horse to go forward, your hand has to be down so that there's no tension. Anytime you have tension, you're saying stop or pressing the brakes. So whatever hand you're holding, right or left, just rest that hand right on their neck so it's nice and loose. Then you'll give them a little kick with both feet and you can make a kissing sound. Kick and kiss makes them go forward. Good boy. I'm going to turn him to the right hand, right turn. I get to where I want, hand goes back down. And then to stop, you're going to pull straight towards your belly button. Don't pull up or to the side, it's literally straight towards it. Once they come to a complete stop, you want to release the pressure again. If you don't release the pressure and you get to pulling, you're going to start backing up. The more you pull, the more back they're going to go. Some of them are older models, they don't have reverse at all. But what I'm trying to get at is once you get to that complete stop, you want to release the pressure. And if they walk off again, just bring them to a stop again. What we don't want is we don't want to be constantly yanking and pulling. Like I said, Western riding is actually very relaxed. For the most part, most of the time you're out there today, your hand is mostly just going to be resting on their neck. The only time you really lift your hands up or if you're stopping, turning, or trying to get them to stop eating, which we'll get to that part shortly. But every horse is different. Some are more responsive, meaning some turn very light. Others, you gotta apply a bit harder. So you will have to feel your horse out. You can't really hurt them neck reining, and so just gradually increase on the pressure until they do give to it. Another tip for turning is you want your hand to go about halfway up the neck before you apply that pressure. If you're trying to turn like this, notice no response. Once my hand goes a little more forward, then you start to go. Any questions as far as the controlling, the stopping, turning? Pretty good on that. So out on the trail, one of the most important rules today is that we ride single file or in line. When horses get side by side, they naturally get competitive. And they do have a pecking order, so some are a lot higher ranked than others. Horses communicate with each other through body language which means how they ask each other for space, biting and kicking. Every horse bites and kicks. Somebody says theirs doesn't, they're lying. They don't believe them. To prevent or avoid them asking each other for space, single file is the safest way to ride, especially in larger groups of riders like today. As we're riding in line out on the trail, the horse in front of you stops, you're gonna stop behind it. Don't go on the side, don't try pass or go around. There is a good chance the horse in front of yours might be a lot higher ranked. But even if you do end up alongside, they may or may not ask for space. We're all about prevention here, and so if we could just try our best to not get side by side out on the trail, that would be ideal. Spacing between horses, we want anything from half a horse length up to 2 or 3. We want to try not to get much more spread out than 2 to 3 horse lengths. We're also going to be riding up a few smaller hills, nothing too steep. But whenever you're riding uphill, you're going to lean forward a little going up. Down hills, you're going to lean back a little bit. We will be giving tips along the way. If anybody does have questions when we're out there, don't hesitate to ask. As far as the horses eating out on the trail, takeout is okay, but no dining in. And so as we're walking along, we're fine with your horse occasionally grabbing a bite, but we don't want them to just stop every time they feel like it. If you just let your horse eat, some of them, they'll stay there for more than an hour if you let them. So we just want to try to keep them moving out on the trail. So if your horse just stops and they're reaching down eating, you're going to pull straight up on your reins. Once their head lifts up, your hand goes down, then you can kick to go. Don't pull and kick at the same time. That means stand up. No, I'm kidding. Not on these guys. We just want to be one step ahead of them. Like if you see them going for a bite, you don't have to let them get it. In the wild, horses graze more than 20 hours a day. As long as there's food in front of them, they're gonna eat. That's where eat like a horse comes from. They also say that horses are a lot like 6th graders with a substitute teacher. They will take advantage of you if you let them. So again, don't be afraid to be a little firm if needed, and by firm, gradually increase pressure. Quick tip for my beginners. If you get scared or nervous, it's a natural instinct to want to hang on for your life. But if your legs are squeezing, you're telling your horse to go. So if you ever heard someone say my horse wouldn't stop running, that would be the death grip with their legs trying to hang on. If you get scared or nervous, you want to spread your legs apart. That keeps you balanced and stabilized, and you're not telling your horse to go. We are more of a slow-paced kind of walking tour, nothing crazy. For the most part, once we start heading out, horses will merge into line, and for the most part, they kind of follow each other. However, if everybody's going to the right and you're going to the left, turn your horse to the right. The 2 most important things today would be riding single file and being able to see your toes. That's literally the 2 most important things. We're horrible with remembering names, so if everyone could adopt your horse's name for the duration of the ride, that would help us out a lot. So if we're calling your horse's name, we're not talking to the horse. Okay? Again, my name is Jamie. We have Mia. And if you forget our names, we actually respond a lot quicker to help, but any one of those will work. Once we get you loaded on the horse, they may want water, and if they do, they're probably going to take you to one of those water troughs, whether you want them to or not. But once you're on, we just want to try to keep them a little more towards the grass behind me. What we don't want is for your horse to try and take you into the feeding stalls when they're here. It is just about impossible not to end up side by side for a little bit whenever we're loading everyone on. So we just want to be mindful. We don't want 5 horses all bunched up side by side in one spot. We want to always try to be mindful of our spacing. When it does come time to dismount or get down, we like everyone to stay on your horse until one of us are holding them. We're going to be tying them up one at a time. So you're going to bring your horse to a complete stop. Either we'll grab the reins from you, or you can hook it over your saddle horn like this. You don't ever want to just drop and let that go. That is your steering and brakes. If you drop it, it happens. Grab it if you can reach it. If you can't reach it, they all have a lead rope tied to your saddle horn. Pull on that lead rope, head turns in. Should be able to get it. Not all of them turn in that well. So if they're not turning in, just do us a favor, hold your rope up, let us know, we'll come give you a hand. So again, dismounting, complete stop, reins goes over the saddle horn. Left hand grabs the saddle horn, right hand just goes on the side of that hand. I like to lean forward a little bit and then stand up on my tiptoes. All my weight is going to shift into my left foot. Right leg is going to come back and over. As your right leg clears the saddle, you grab the back of the saddle. Just slowly bend your left knee until your right foot reaches the ground. Don't let go of the saddle until your foot is firmly on the ground. We've seen some amazing dismounts. That just about covers it. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah, of course.
All right, I'm riding Nike. That's my horse's name. Good boy. It's a Nike. Good boy. Easy.
Diggies like these, diggies we don't use them all the time. So diggies kind of like tie her up on the tension order. This is your spot. We're going to be lining you up in your group 1, you've got a time for a photo, you will be able to see the waterfall. We try to get it in the backdrop. Everybody's going to stay on your horses. Please be mindful of your spacing. We don't want to get all bunched up side by side. But you can't just let your horse snack as you're waiting. The waterfall can be out on the right. And
Right behind you, baby bear.
There's the ocean out in front of us. Yeah. So halfway through the horse ride, we stop, and then we are walking down to the waterfalls and the river. Hello everyone, we are horseback riding in Hawaii. I hope you like it. We are on the Big Island. We are at a halfway point. We are stopped to eat some snacks, get something to drink. As you can see the waterfall behind me. This is a beautiful place here. I hope you like it. And I will talk to you later. That's Gizmo. Gizmo's chewing on a stick. They all also have zip lining on the property here.
This is Nike.
There you go, Nike. Oh, there you go. There you go, boy.
I think that was Bailey's.
great ride. I would recommend it on the big island of Hawaii. I hope you liked the video, and I'll talk to you soon. Thirsty, huh? Good boy. Good boy, Nike. Drink it up. Yeah, that's